On August 19, 2021, Poison Jr. tweeted, "Cis people flirting. How rubbery that pussy. Trans people flirting. You need to hold me down by my weak little bee wings and use me. We have to repopulate the hive." The next February, they added, "Update for all the people who asked me to explain this post," quoting another post saying, "Apologies for the erratic behavior, forgetfulness, and breakdowns this past year, friends. The water heater guy came this morning and found a gas leak 3 feet from my bed." This is the Museum of Twitter, the show where we talk about the most important tweets in the history of Twitter.com. It's Subscriber Sunday, where my Patreon subscribers nominate and vote on which tweet I cover, and this Sunday they chose a situation where someone had an excuse I think we all wish we had for a bad tweet. We've all tweeted something where we wish we could go back in time and be like, you know what, that actually wasn't me, that was me under the influence of, like, chemicals being leaked out of pipes. And beyond Poison Jr. alone, it does make you wonder how many other crazy tweets are from people who have gas leaking in their homes, or maybe black mold or things like that. Because later in the thread, Call Me Cis Male asked, "Did you feel any different in the house than out of it, etc.?" And Poison Jr. responded, "Yes, I had a headache almost every time I was in my room." So clearly this tweeter was being affected constantly by a gas leak in their bedroom. And in addition to the forgetfulness and breakdowns and things like that they mentioned, it also brought us this post. Now, lots of people dispute that this is a bad tweet to begin with. Lachesis said, "Hate the narrative that Gail posted this because of a gas leak in her home. She posted this because she is a genius." By the way, I'm choosing to use they pronouns for Poison Jr., even though there's she in this post. I think I might have found some conflicting information in more recent posts, but I'm not 100% sure, and when I'm not 100% sure, I choose to go with they. I apologize if I'm completely off the mark here. Passoid responded to the tweet with, "Reopen the gas leak, this tweet ruled." And in 2024, Rifty said, "I can explain this without resorting to the gas leak thing. Cis flirting relies entirely on complimenting or at least referencing their appearance, while trans flirting is about engineering a situation in which we are allowed to have sex and maybe even allowed to enjoy it." Now, I don't know if the first part of this is true, that, like, all cis flirting is about appearance. I think that that's a little reductive about cis people, but I obviously can't really comment on the second part of it because I don't have that experience. But I will say, the first time I read the original tweet from Poison Jr., I did think, hey, that's pretty funny, that sounds pretty accurate. I didn't think this person must have a gas leak in their home. And by the way, this was not the only insane thing that Poison Jr. did on Twitter because of the gas leak. They also tweeted, "Wait, when did I change my handle to Poison Jr.?" And then found a tweet from 2020 saying, "New handle, new me," and then said, "This was days after I moved in. What the fuck? What the fuck? Did I get possessed and my gas leak alter ego named herself?" Now, I would think that this tweet would raise awareness for gas leaks. Like Slants, for example, quoted the gas leak post and said, "Calling a water heater guy over immediately." But Poison Jr. said in 2024, "This set gas leak awareness back 100 years. I don't know if I agree with that. Well, maybe people stopped taking gas leaks seriously because they thought they would just make good posts. Like Sophia at home said, "Gas leaks make bangers, but at a cost of literal brain damage." In comparison, I thought was quite funny is when this exchange was posted as a screenshot, Questions Arc quoted it and said, "This is like how ancient seers were right above volcanic fumes." I just quite enjoy the idea that tweeting banger posts is the same thing as being an ancient seer. Look, I think this whole saga's popularity is pretty self-explanatory. It just is funny to think about a crazy post or a silly post or a dumb post you saw being made by someone who literally has gas fumes seeping into their brain as they're saying it. Now, do I think this means that anyone who does crazy tweets has a gas leak in their home? Unfortunately, probably not. I think a lot of people just tweet out gas leak posts, even in the freshest of fresh air. Follow me for new tweet every day, and if you like the show, please go to patreon.com/museum of Twitter. We get to vote on Subscriber Sunday episodes like these, and you get a weekly bonus episode called the Museum of Not Twitter.